Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. I hope everyone's having a lovely summer so far. I cannot get over, we have been having the best weather all year. It's been so nice. It hasn't been too hot. I know it's coming. I know the heat is coming, but today the high is only 92, which for us in July is absolutely incredible. So I am enjoying it while I can, knowing the heat's coming. The triple digits are coming, but let's not think about that. So today I don't have too many plans. I kind of just wanted to spend some time in the garden. I do have one plant though that I definitely want to plant. It is a shrub. It doesn't look like much right now, but this shrub, this is a sleeper. This is called Calycanthus, or I think Carolina allspice. I think that's another name for it. I found out about this plant when I did a garden tour at Tommy and Rhonda's house. They were in Penn Valley, which is about an hour and a half away from here, and they had some really, really cool conifers and shrubs and trees in their garden. It was a really, really great garden tour. Michael Glassman actually went with me because he wanted to see it as well. And Tommy and Rhonda actually had a Calycanthus Aphrodite in their garden, and I had just never heard of the plant before. Absolutely never heard of the plant before. And once I saw it there, I was hooked, and I was like, okay, I got to get one of those in my garden. And isn't that the best way when you get inspiration from someone else's garden and you have to have it in your own garden? And that's how I was with this plant, this Calycanthus, because I just thought it would just be absolutely perfect. So I did a little bit of research on it. Turns out it is native to North America. There's two different varieties native to North America. One that's native on the East Coast and one that's native on the West Coast. And then there's also a native variety to China. The two that are native to North America are very, very similar. The only difference is the one that's native to California is a little bit less hardy than the one that's native to the East Coast, which is called Calycanthus floridis. The one that's native to California is occidentalis. And then there's the Chinese one. Aphrodite from Proven Winners is actually a hybrid of the East Coast one, the floridis, and I don't think I'm saying that wrong. Right, sorry. So it's the combination between the one that's native to the East Coast and the one from China. So really big, really beautiful, gorgeous, magnolia-looking red burgundy blooms that supposedly smell absolutely incredible. And I didn't smell them when I was at Tommy and Rhonda's, and I almost want to go back just so I can smell it, because apparently what's cool about this plant is everybody smells something a little bit different, whether it's pineapple, whether it's banana, whether it's bubblegum, whether it's clove. It's kind of like the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, or the nose of the beholder, I will say. So I'm really interested to see how this one does. So this one gets about 12 feet tall and wide. So it's a huge, huge shrub, and it performs best when you can let it get as big as it wants to be. So I have an idea for where I want to put it. It's a place in my garden that I haven't really been paying much attention to, but I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. Let me show you. Okay, so here's where I'm thinking. Out in front of our fence, along the street that I live on, there is absolutely nothing here. And I've had lots of plans for what I'm going to do for this area. I think I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. It's just been so incredibly low on our to-do list, simply because I don't see this. We come in through the gate and then we're inside, and that's all we're focused on. And I know I should kind of spruce it up to make the front of my house look a little bit nicer, because right now it is looking rough, but like I said, it's just very, very last on my priorities list. However, since the Calycanthus is going to get so big, like I said, 12 feet tall and 12 feet wide, I thought, okay, this might be a perfect place for it. Because if you can see, I'm standing kind of in the middle of the street right now, and if you can see, there's my house, and where I'm pointing right there, that is the sliding glass door where our dining table is. And when you sit at the dining table, you can look right out. The willow tree is blocking part of the view, but if you look right out, you can kind of see some buildings way off in the distance in front of me. And so I thought, okay, if I had something like right here, right, like right there blocking that area, it's just going to make it feel that much better and that much more enclosed. And so I thought planting the Calycanthus right in front of this fence right here might be just the perfect spot for it. Now, the cool thing about Calycanthus is that it can handle full sun, it can handle part sun, and it can actually handle a little bit of shade. It's one of those really great shrubs that will actually bloom in a little bit more shadier areas. Like if you have more of a woodland garden like Tommy and Rhonda had, it blooms perfectly well. For when you have a little bit less sun, it actually gets a little taller because it does stretch and it might not bloom as well, but it really can handle all different things that you put at it. So this fence is facing east, so it's morning, so it gets nice, beautiful morning sun, but then it gets really, really protected and pretty shady in the afternoon, past noon, and then as the sun sets. So it's a great place for it. And because the shrub can handle a little bit more shade, I think that this place is going to be perfect. We did have daffodils planted here, and the daffodils, there was so much shade, especially in the winter time, that the daffodils, I think, had a little bit tough time blooming as well as they could have. They're still planted there, and I'm hoping that they'll still continue to naturalize. But although it looks like full sun, because of the placement of the fence and the direction that the sun sets, this area actually does get, I don't know, like I would say part sun probably. Now over on this side of the fence, the garden side of the fence, we have yardline viburnum. Jason and I last fall planted a whole bunch of this yardline viburnum that is going to get about 12 feet tall and 4 feet wide. And the goal is to have this yardline viburnum be our kind of our hedge, our screening hedge for all along this fence. I had a couple of you ask for an update. This is the update. They're still in their first year, so think about sleep, creep, leap. They're still in their sleep year, but they definitely are growing and they're looking good. I have my 2 big Matilaha poppies. I have another yard line there and then more yard line coming over here. So we're getting a little bit of growth on the yard line, but not a ton of growth on the yard line just yet, but I'm sure that they will grow really, really big eventually. So eventually these guys are going to be about 12 feet tall. So imagine the fence is 6 feet, so it's going to be double the height of the fence, right? So that's going to be really nice. And then if you can see, there's buildings over there. So if you're looking at from our dining room, which would be about right here, I want to plant the Calycanthus on the other side of the fence right there, so it's going to block those buildings that you can see far in the distance. Now, my initial plan for this area, just to deal with how many weeds we have out here, because there's tons of weeds here, is I am going to put cardboard down, and then I am going to put a couple inches of wood chips on top, just to squelch all the weeds that I do have here. So I would like to do that before I start planting, but if I have just one shrub, I think that'll be fine. We can kind of work around it. I have been signed up for a chip drop, getchipdrop.com, and I've done a ton of them so far, and I've usually gotten chip drops within a couple weeks, but for some reason this time, I think probably because it's spring and everybody's planting, it's been like 3 months now and I haven't gotten a chip drop. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm actually going to take my truck to our local dump. They have wood chips for like, I don't know, $4 a ton or something like that. So it's basically nothing. It's just a matter of I have to go get it and bring it back here. So I think that that's my plan, but I think I'm good with planting at least one shrub here for now before I put the cardboard and wood chips down. Well, not much to look at, but I guess every garden has to start somewhere, right? So this garden started with the Calycanthus, a very small Calycanthus that's going to get very, very huge. I don't know how quickly it grows, but I would assume pretty quickly. So what we will do, we actually have a drip irrigation tube just on the other side of the fence. We'll tap off that and then just come through and hook it up to drip irrigation right there. And I will say I had planned to plant it there, so early this morning I came out and I pre-wet the soil, which made it so much easier to dig in because this soil is rock hard, and pre-moistening your holes before you start digging them with the auger makes all the difference in the world, especially this time of year. All right, so I think next what I'm going to do today is I'm going to trim back or prune back my Shasta Daisies that are pretty much spent after their first flush of blooms. So I'm basically going to deadhead them. So when it comes to Shasta Daisies, there's basically 3 different ways that you can prune them. The first way is when you prune them at the end of the season. You can do it basically after your first frost. I usually do it a little bit before just to kind of get it ready. And that is pruning them kind of hard back to get them ready for the winter. So basically you're going to cut down your Shasta Daisies all the way to the basal foliage, just the little clump of foliage that's coming right out of the ground. That's going to keep them nice and clean for the winter season, for the winter. And then all the new growth that comes the next spring is going to be fresh, beautiful new growth and not old growth from the season before. So that's the first way you can prune your Shasta Daisies. The second way you can prune them is, you guys have probably heard of this. It's called the Chelsea chop. The Chelsea chop, you do it in the spring, usually around the same time that the Chelsea Flower and Garden Show is, which is in May. Here, where I live in California, we're a little bit ahead of everybody. So I would probably do, if I was to do the Chelsea chop, I would probably do it in April. The Chelsea chop is basically trimming or pruning your Shasta Daisies back by about 1/3 in the spring. What you're going to do by doing that is you're going to create compact, nice, dense growth with lots of blooms. The only drawback to Chelsea chop is it does delay blooming. So it delays the blooms, which might be good because what you can do is you can do the Chelsea chop on some of your flowers and then not on some other of your plants. And so then you can kind of spread out the blooms during your season. So that's the second way that you can prune your Shasta Daisies. The third way is what I'm doing today, which is basically deadheading mid-season. And I'm just going to cut back the old blooms so the energy doesn't go towards setting seed and it actually goes towards setting new blooms. So I have a second flush of blooms that I can enjoy during the season. And I actually have help right now. Jason offered to come out and help me. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
You didn't know I was going to say this, but it's your birthday.
Oh.
It's your birthday. Actually, when you guys are watching this, today is Jason's birthday. It's not today. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What are we doing for your birthday?
Going out to dinner.
We're going out to a Brazilian steakhouse. You know, when they have, what do you call it? A spit?
Skewer.
A skewer,
Yeah.
and then they shave it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won.
I've never been. It looks fun.
Mm-hmm. The girls are really excited about it. So anyway, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And he's helping me today. So he's helping me because it's getting hot and
Got to get done.
we got to get done.
inside.
So I know I was saying what a nice day it was and how it wasn't too hot, but I'm getting hot and my phone overheated and I didn't realize it. So I don't know how much footage I actually got of cutting back these Shasta Daisies. Over here, I am kind of by the metal workshop. And these are my Daisy May Shasta Daisies. They were blooming beautifully about a month ago, and we had a good 4 to 6 weeks of gorgeous blooms. Now it's time to cut them back and hopefully they'll flush back out. So they were right here in front of the pink mola molas that are doing fabulous and handling the heat like it's nothing. Then over here I have some marshmallow Shasta Daisies that I cut back. These guys, I'm not as impressed with this plant as I am as compared to the spun silk Shasta Daisies, banana cream 2 Shasta Daisies, and Daisy May Shasta Daisies. Those 3 are really great. This one just kind of stays small and it doesn't bloom a lot. I don't know if I just have smaller plants and I have to wait for them to grow. I'm just not as impressed with these, but I'll keep you guys updated. So let me go back over to the center island and see what Jason did. You think I can get that on camera?
Can you see it?
What is their deal? Is it feeding time?
Intense goat. I don't know.
This is an intense goat. I don't know if you guys can hear that on camera, but holy cow. When the arborists were here the other day, they were like, what is that noise? I had to explain to them.
Used to living next to goats,
I
huh?
know, we live next to very, very loud goats. Okay, so Jason did the Rudbeckia. This looks good.
Yeah, it's all right.
This looks great. So just kind of cutting it back, you know, hopefully it'll flush back again for another round of blooms. But if it doesn't, that's okay. We really enjoyed it. I think these will though, because they do really well in the fall. And then over here, I had some spun silk Shasta Daisies that looked really good. And then another kind of grouping of them over here. I actually left one plant going because it was almost like it was a little bit later. It's almost like I did the Chelsea chop, but I didn't. So they're still blooming and there's actually some fresh buds on this one. So I left this one, but I cut these 2 back. And then I noticed I actually have a Rogue Cosmo, probably from my cut flower garden last year, growing in my Russian sage, which is absolutely beautiful. So are you hot? I'm hot.
I'm hot. Ready to go inside?
Yes.
Yeah.
Twist my arm.
That's enough.
I was thinking about cleaning the metal workshop, but that sounds terrible right now.
Sounds awful. Inside that hot, yeah.
Twist my arm.
Time to go in.
Okay. Why don't you do the outro? I hope you have a chance to get in your garden today.
I hope you all enjoyed this and I hope you have a chance to get in your garden today.
Yeah!